Hi, it's me RamKrishna Bati, and my student ID is 303700713. And my project name is Digital Website Using APIs for Grocery Distribution Company. And our company was Aradhya Pty Limited. And we have a series of lectures, tutor classes, client stand-ups, and supervisor stand-ups, from where we get feedbacks and some ideas as well for developing our project. And in developing this project, I have contributed documenting part and coding part. So being a software engineering student, my major contribution was on coding part, where I start with the front end coding, and my other friend start with the back end coding, and we uh, eventually we merge together and we collaborate together to make a final product. And I want to start with my documenting part. So as we have a project storyboard, project board map, and different sprints as we use the agile methodology. So in those documenting part, I have contributed with the diagrams by using the Microsoft Visio and Microsoft Publishers. So I use the Microsoft Publisher for making the poster, and the other Microsoft Visuals for the developing of ER diagram by the databases we have created, and the business process modeling diagrams that we needed for making our web development, and then the use case diagrams so that we can get a view of our web page. So I want to share as a evidence those those documenting part, and not only those parts, but also I have contributed in the many other documenting parts. And in the write-up part, as being a software engineering student, I, I prefer the theory and framework parts and some test cases parts in our write-up project, the write-up of the project. So I want to share my evidence. So here I use Microsoft Publisher for making this this cover, and similarly for ER diagrams I use Visio. So this is a Microsoft Visio where I make the ER diagram and business process modeling, and similarly use case diagram. And in write-up, I can show some evidence in write-up as well. So in write-up, one of the case study was done by me. So the case study done by me was the importance of API and mashups in web development for business opportunities. So this is related with the API case study that help us in uh, keeping some uh, ideas of YouTube APIs and the other Google APIs. And this testing parts, me and Zen actually work on the different test cases, and some of the test cases that did was like login with verifyings and login after verifyings, and using the coupons, and checking the checking of the uh, customer web pages and those things. And I was also talking about the theories and framework that I have done. So those can be seen in the write-ups. So the other major contribution in the software development, I want to share three major things that I have successfully done. So I want to start with the login page development. In login page development, I use the Bootstrap framework. So rather than using the coding from scratch. I use the Bootstrap framework to make a login page. I want to share my evidence in this video. So here, Bootstrap helped me to generate a login page by this class login form and sign up form, this class sign up form, and similarly with the columns and other things, and like using the buttons like submit and some other buttons for the email addresses and passwords. And from these from this coding, I was successful to create this login web page. And similarly, the next contribution was making the confirmation of passwords, that showing the password validity and making it functional. Like this part, the token part is generated whenever someone put the password, and that password is compared with the uh, password in database, and uh, that is helped through the jQuery jQuery part, and JavaScript and jQuery was used in this part. So here the false and the true are the logic that behind the password confirmations for these things. And to share that part, I want to share the part which shows the password confirmations. Like here it will say password is correct or incorrect. The next major contribution that I can share with in this part in this individual reflection is that I was able to put some YouTube videos as a recipe video for our web page, where I use a YouTube API, actually the YouTube iframe API. And here you can see this YouTube iframe APIs, which this var player will be tagged in the HTML part, where those to play that YouTube video. And I was successful to mute the video, but it will play for 6 seconds, but I could not able to stop that video in beginning, but it will eventually, it played for 6 seconds. And our supervisor and client also suggest to make that one, but it was a bit hard for me to cope with that part. So anyway, I used these codes, and these codes, this var player was tagged in the HTML part so that I can play the video. The another major part that I have contributed is the confirmation of the email and confirmation of the passwords. And the user can, or the product one, the customer can go through the web page and make a profile, but they need to confirm through their email address so that they can buy the products and everything. So I did with this code for the email verifications and password verifications. So after this code being done, I was able to get the confirmation in the email part that I want to share that email confirmation that I have done in my part. And I've made those things which I will show here. So this email will be generated, and through this confirmation of account only the customer can use. So these are the major contributions that I have done in the coding part. Not only these, there are the other part as well, but these things I find a major contribution from my side, because I have researched I have researched through the many coding websites where like Stack Overflow, and I get ideas from those, and some YouTube iframe videos and YouTube iframe sites which I have kept those things in the presentation slides as well. So with these things, I end up with uh, a project, and uh, me and Zain has collaborated with those all codes, and we successfully make the web product work. And we at last uh, our team get good advice with the good advice from the supervisor and client, and they were happy with the project. So thank you for the time. Bye for now.